Going on, guys? Bart here with Working the Shoot. Boom, boom. Boom, boom! Today, we're going to be talking about last night's Saturday night's main event that the WWE put on and was aired by Peacock. Get your greasy, oily wrestling men on the cock. Peacock. I hope today's the day we earn your subscription. I hope that today you realize, and every day from here on out, how awesome and amazing all of you are. Yeah, even you who likes eating cottage cheese and puts it on their bagel or something. Even you are awesome and amazing. We had a few matches last night at Saturday night's main event. Some things to push along the story, some stories we're dealing with. Some matches getting set up for the next PLE, if you will. And I have to say, this was an overall okay episode of the special Saturday Night Main Event. I think there's 4 throughout the year. The last one we watched was seniors. The seniors at the home were playing bingo against the seniors from the other home playing bingo. Not really, but Cena's retirement match was the last Saturday night's main event. And, so this one wasn't so sad and nostalgic feeling. But let's get into what we did get here. We initially were going to start off with Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu, a match between those two, the Samoan werewolf from EBT to the WWE, facing the American Nightmare, Homelander himself, Cody Rhodes. And I'll tell you something, this was a way to be able to push this story along without necessarily giving us a match, because Jacob Fatu first was introduced, then Cody Rhodes was making his way in. This was the opening of the show, and they got into such a big brawl. There was a security trying to push them away, trying to give them space. They were doing the whole walking, fighting thing throughout the crowd, where they walk and fight at the same time, and then they stop, and then they walk and they fight together. That whole gimmick, and so much so to the fact that it was just, they didn't even wind up having a match. That's how crazy it got. At one point, Drew McIntyre came in, taking out Jacob Fatu, taking out Cody Rhodes. So even though Cody and Jacob were fighting, and mainly because of what happened the night Cody Rhodes lost his title to Drew McIntyre, initially Jacob was trying to go after Drew because that's who he thought attacked him and made him be out with injury for months. But because he was interfering in a match that Drew was having with Cody, Cody decided to interfere with his interference, and it led to them fighting, thus leaving them to try to fight at this match, but most likely they'll have a match at the Royal Rumble, in which, who's to say who's going to win? Jacob Fatu's coming back and needs to win. Cody Rhodes just lost his title and needs a possible win back. So it'd be interesting to see who kind of comes out on top of this feud, so to speak. I think Cody Rhodes is going to win the feud overall, but I'd like to see Fatu get some wins here and there. We had the women's tag team title match with Rhea and Io versus Liv and Roxanne, who ended up winning an opportunity, their number one contendership match. either this past Friday or the Friday before, and it was an okay match. It was a good match. It was good to see um, some of my favorite female wrestlers going off against each other, but there wasn't any real um, like for Liv. She wasn't around when the Judgment Day lost the women's tag team titles, so she felt like she never lost them. So that's kind of, and then winning the number one contendership match led them to here. Unfortunately for the Judgment Day, Rhea and Io wins, retaining their tag team championship. Now they will face off against the team that won their number one contendership match on SmackDown, Julia. And let's see if I can remember actually, because I did the weekly review of those shows. And then we got Julia and Kiana James ready to face off against the champions next. That might be either at SmackDown or the Royal Rumble. We'll see. The Royal Rumble is in Riyadh this year, Saudi Arabia. And I'm not really sure who's going to win this Royal Rumble. There's really no people at the moment that I have to kind of see where the bigger pool is of people. Again, I wouldn't be surprised that Cody Rhodes wins it, making him like Stone Cold and being the first 3-time back-to-back Royal Rumble champion, so to speak, or winner. But we'll see about that when that comes up and it gets closer, what my predictions of that will be. The next match, to me, is the match of the night. AJ Styles. Oh my God. I know how to talk. Do you know how to talk? AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. One of my favorite wrestlers in the WWE. Both of these men, actually. And this would have been, again, great to see with my buddy Doug, who passed away a couple years ago. He's a big wrestling fan. Big fan of AJ Styles here. Was a fan of Shinsuke Nakamura. And would have liked to see some of these final matches, to say John Cena and AJ Styles with them, because of how many wrestling memories we have with each other. But I can't even tell you. Me trying to describe move by move wouldn't do the justice that these two men deserved for this match. I feel like it was probably the longest match. If it wasn't, that's fine. I could be wrong in that, but it's the match of the night. No questions. Hands down. Best match of the night. Yeah, that's the rating. Hands down the best match. No, it had tension. It had action. You heard AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura chants throughout. Both these men have been facing each other on and off since 2008. So, of course, you're going to have Shinsuke being a part of the goodbye tour for AJ Styles. And at the end, they give each other a pound. They kind of, do the bro hug and give each other credit, for the fans to cheer, like, doing the raising the arm and pointing over, like, I give this guy credit type of move that they do. And it's sinking in slowly but surely that really at Royal Rumble, it's looking like AJ Styles is going to lose that match. And pretty wild from all the times, all the years of watching that man wrestle. And to kind of get another retirement so close to John Cena, it's really starting to make me view my mortality, right? Like, man, all these guys I was cheering have either, from my years of watching wrestling, have retired or been retired, and it's, I still love watching wrestling, but sometimes it doesn't feel the same as it did initially when I first was watching, all the way up to present times. But we're gonna go to the main event here. Damian Priest versus Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams for the number one contendership to Drew McIntyre's title. That he'd be defending the title against one of these people at the Royal Rumble. Now, my initial pick, I'm going to be honest with you, for this match is Randy Orton. I would have been okay with Randy Orton winning. I would have been alright with Trick Williams even winning. But Sami Zayn winds up winning. This was the Saturday night main event was held in Montreal, so I'm thinking that's partially why they had Sami win this. Like I said, I would have preferred, I'm going to put it this way, I would have preferred Randy Orton winning. Because if Randy Orton loses, he isn't going to lose anything in an overall sense of momentum, because people would cheer him no matter what. People cheered him doing the most diabolical thing or being the face and doing the most heroic thing. So Randy Orton, because he loses a Royal Rumble title match, isn't going to immediately be ignored by the fans. You know what I mean? Trick Williams, you don't want him to come in and lose immediately either, because you want to build. You want to be able to build him up to being someone who then, when he does lose, it's like, oh no. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe he lost. Damian Priest, I wouldn't have minded either because of his past with Drew. But Sami was kind of the last person I was expecting or wanting to win. I'm kind of getting a little tired of the perpetual underdog story, because it's like he's been in the business for 20 years, has won titles, has beaten people that normally people wouldn't expect him to beat. And so, like, how many times can he be considered an underdog and really be taken seriously as that part of the story, in my opinion, anyway? Doesn't mean I think Sami Zayn's a bad wrestler or a bad character, but I personally like his, the way he interacts and the way he speaks sometimes. I get it. It's not any of that. It's just like, people aren't looking at him as a perpetual loser anymore. People do take him seriously, I think. And so, I don't know. It's not someone I would have chose. Like I said, I would have chose Randy. I would have chosen any other of the three participants. But at this point, it is what it is. Some people are thinking that Sami will beat him, meaning Drew, at the Royal Rumble, and if he does, that's going to be a really bad move. It's going to be a really bad move to have Sami beat Drew at the Royal Rumble, especially with Drew winning the title so close to that. And I just feel like that would be kind of like spitting on Drew McIntyre's legacy and his run at the moment that he's trying to build. He carried the WWE during the COVID era. He's been one of the few carrying the WWE for years now, with how his work on the mic is, his work on the social media, his work in the ring. This man's a menace. This man's diabolical, okay? He is one of the best heels you have. And for him to maybe lose so close, considering everything he's given up for the company, would be, in my opinion, a bad move. If Sami Zayn's going to be the perpetual underdog, he doesn't need to win the world title then. He's always just going to be chasing it. That's where the story is, right, guys? Right? His chase, because he's the underdog. Well, let him keep chasing. For now. I don't want him winning at the cost of Drew McIntyre at the moment. Just my opinion. But that's what I have for you for Saturday night's main event. Let me know down below what you thought of the event itself. Run-of-the-mill event in an overall sense. I'd give this like a solid 7.5 out of 10. Nothing spectacular, nothing crazy. The highlight was the Shinsuke Nakamura AJ Styles match. And that's what I have for you. You let me know down below what you guys are thinking. Until next time, peace.